So good evening to all. So in the last class we are seeing about the generation of uh, EMF. Okay, generation of EMF whenever a conductor will cuts the magnetic field. Whenever a current cuts the magnetic field, the EMF will be induces in the conductor. Okay, so here the main point is, so the here the conductor should be moved, or the intensity of the field intensity should be changed. Okay, so any one should be changed. If the conductor is constant or the field is constant, then there is no EMF will be induces in the conductor. Okay, so in the right side of the figure we have, that is a right flat hand rule. So if you use the right hand and which is placed, which is opposing to the opposite to the magnetic field, north pole to south pole, the right hand thumb will indicates the direction of the motion of this conductor. Okay, and the fingers will indicates the direction of the induced EMF. The fingers of the will indicates the direction of the induced EMF. Okay, so here we are saying that the EMF will be induced EMF. So induced EMFs are two types. One is the dynamically induced EMF, and second one is uh, statistically statically induced EMF. So there are two types of induced EMFs. EMF will be induces in two types. So the first case, dynamically induced means the field is stationary but conductor will be changes. That is, conductor cuts the field, the fixed field, and the conductor will be moves in the field, and due to that the conductor will cuts the magnetic field. Due to that the EMF will be induces. This type of the dynamically induced EMF is used in DC generators. For the generation DC generators, DC generators are used to generate the EMF voltage. Okay, so in our power plants, all in generators, whenever we power gone, so the generators will be on. So there is a magnetic field will be there, and there is a conductor will be changes its position by rotating, and due to that the current will be, the flux will be cut by the conductor, and due to that the EMF will be induces, and this is the principle which is used in DC generators. But in second case, that is statically induced, so it is fixed, means the in this the conductor or the coil remains stationary, so the coil is constant. Okay, the conductor or coil is stationary, and the flux linked with this is changes due to the change of the current. Okay, so this is principle is used in transformers. So in the transformers, so here we have a transformer will be there. So this is the symbol of the transformer. I think you know, all of you know this, primary and secondary. So here uh, here this is the core. So in the here we will wind the primary winding, and here it is the secondary winding. So here we will apply the higher voltage or 230 volts AC. Okay, so here the coil or the conductor, the current carrying conductor will be fixed on the core. Okay, the flux will be flows through this core. Okay, so in this case the coil is fixed. So how the flux will be generated? The flux will be generated by the varying current. So we will applying a voltage of the sinusoidal signal, AC signal. So this AC signal is changing its amplitude and phase. Okay, so due to that there is a variation in the current. So that due to variation of the current, there is a change in the flux. Generated flux will be changes. Okay, so like this we can use the statistically induced EMF. Statically induced EMF. So one is dynamically induced EMF. In this the field is constant. The conductor will be cuts the field. So whereas in the statically induced EMF, the coil is constant, and due to the variation of the current which is flowing through this conductor, so due to that the flux generation will be changes, and that change in flux will be applies to the secondary winding. Okay, so this change in flux will be applies to secondary winding, and that due to the flux linkages with this coil, the EMF will be induced in the secondary winding. Okay, so first in the primary winding, the due to the applied variation of the current, due to that the flux will be generated, and due to that variation in the flux, the same flux will be travels through this secondary winding. Okay, travels through this secondary winding, and due to the flux will cuts the conductor, and due to that the EMF will be induced in the secondary winding. So like this the statical induced EMF will be applies to the transformers. The principle which is used in the transformer is statical induced EMF. So here you can see dynamically induced EMF. The first one is dynamically induced EMF. So in this figure, so a conductor A is shown in cross section laying a meter square within a uniform magnetic field. So here this is the a conductor. Okay, so this conductor is placed in between the uniform magnetic field. So this is the uniform magnetic field from north to south pole. Okay, the arrow attached to A shows its direction of motion. The arrow indicates the direction of the motion. Consider the condition in figure A when A cuts across the right angles to the flux. So the flux is from the top to bottom, and the conductor is moving in the left to right. Then the conductor will cuts this magnetic flux. Okay. Suppose L is the length we are laying with the field, and let it move a distance of dx in time dt. So for a given time of dt or change of time, so it will be produces a length of L. Okay, and it is moved a small distance of x, then the area will be L into dx. So flux cut is equals to I into dx into b. So change in flux is equals to BL dx Webers, and time taken is equals to dt seconds. According to Faraday's law, the EMF induced in it is known as the dynamic induced EMF, and the rate of change of flux linkages. So the rate of change of flux linkages is equals to BL dx by dt, and BL dx by dt, that is BLV. Here dx by dt is nothing but the velocity. Dx by dt is nothing but the velocity, and it is equals to BLV volts. The rate of change of flux linkage is equals to BLV volts. So if a conductor A moves at an angle of theta with the direction of flux, then the induced EMF is equals to BLV sin theta volts. The induced EMF is BLV sin theta. Suppose in this magnetic flux, if the conductor is moving at an angle of theta with respect to the magnetic flux, then the induced EMF, then also will get the induced EMF. So then that will be equals to BLV sin theta. Okay. So suppose consider a conductor is moving from left to right from the point A. So it is moving a distance of some x within a given time period t, that is dx by dt. So that will represent the velocity. That will represent the velocity. Okay. So change in flux is given as BL into dx. Okay. So from that we'll get the rate of change of flux linkage is equals to BLV volts. If the conductor will be moves with an angle theta with respect to the flux, direction of the flux, then we will get the BLV sin theta. So this can be represented with the cross product as LV into B. So this is the principle of electric generation, how the electric power will be generated. So this is the windmill to turn the coil. So here this is the coil. This is the coil, okay, and this coil is connected to a shaft, okay, and shaft is connected to the windmill. So when the windmill is rotating, the attached shaft and the coil will be rotates, and this coil will be rotates in between the magnets. These two are magnets, okay. So whenever this coil will also rotates with the windmill, okay. So when the windmill will rotates, the corresponding or attached coil will also rotates in that direction. So when the coil will be rotates in this direction or any direction, okay. So it will be rotates in between the magnetic field, okay. This is the magnets in between magnetic field, and due to that the conductor will be cuts this magnetic field, and due to that the EMF will be induces in the coil, and that induced EMF will be connected to the a bulb, electric lamp. Okay, so the induced EMF will drives the a bulb. So like this, the power will be generated in the by using Fleming's right hand rule. By using Fleming's right hand rule, we can produce the, yeah. Tell me, Manikant Sai.
సార్ అంటే అదే మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఈఎంఎఫ్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ అవుద్ది అని చెప్పారు కదా
చెప్పు. సో డిస్టర్బెన్స్
ఎస్ సార్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎస్ ఇప్పుడు మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది ఇప్పుడు అది ప్యారలల్ గా ఉంది కదా సార్. ఇప్పుడు రొటేషన్ కూడా ప్యారలల్ అనేది జరుగుతుంది కదా సార్. ఈఎంఎఫ్ మరి బల్బ్ ఎలాగా అదే ప్రొడ్యూస్ అవుతుంది
ఇక్కడ. ఇది సపోజ్ యు అస్యూమ్ దట్ this is the north pole. So this is the one magnet, okay, and this is another magnet. So this is the north pole and this is the south pole, okay. From the north pole to south pole the flux will be generates. The flux will be moves in this direction, okay. The flux will be from north pole to south pole. What we are doing, so we are just placing a coil. This is the coil. This is the coil, okay, and this coil is connected to the a shaft, and that shaft is connected to the windmill. Okay, so whenever the air is coming, this windmill will also rotates, and due to that, the attached shaft and the attached this conductor is also rotates. So the what we told that whenever the conductor will cut the magnetic field, the EMF will be generates. Okay, so here the cutting of the conductor is done by connecting a windmill. Okay, so just we are connecting this wire or coil to the we are not rotating, so it is rotating by a shaft, and the shaft is connected to a mill. Okay, windmill. Whenever the air is came, this uh, windmill will rotate, and due to that, this coil will be also rotate in that direction, in that direction. So then what happens, this coil will cuts the magnetic field. So here the flux will be generated continuously, because these are the fixed magnets, permanent magnets. You can call them as the permanent magnets. These permanent magnets will produce the flux continuously. So we are rotating the coil in between this magnetic flux. Okay, and due to that, whenever the mill will be rotated, the coil will also turns, and by turning that coil, so it will cuts the magnetic field. So whenever the uh, coil will cuts the magnetic field, EMF will be induces in the coil, and due to that, the current will be generated. Okay, so that generated EMF will be collected by using these brushes. Okay, and due to that, it will be connected to some appliance, electric bulb. So like this, it will be generates the power. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thanks.
if you have any still doubt, you can ask, no problem.
Yes, sir. You carry on, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the direction of the induced EMF is given by Fleming's right hand rule or the flat hand rule, and most easily by vector cross product given above. So we are not given this one. Okay, so by using right hand rule, we can Fleming's right hand rule, we can find out the direction of the induced EMF. So that is the dynamically induced EMF, and the next one is statistically induced EMF. Statically induced EMF. So it can be further subdivided into mutually induced EMF and self-induced EMF. Previously, we have seen that is dynamically induced EMF that will be used in generation of the power in the DC generators. So the next one is statically induced EMF. It will be again divided into mutually induced EMF and self-induced EMF. So we will see about the mutual induced EMF. So mutually induced EMF. So consider two coils here. Two coils are there. These two coils are very close to each other. So this is the coil B, okay, and this is the coil A. So this coil is connected to a variable resistor and a switch, and it is connected to a battery. This coil A is connected to a variable resistor, a switch, and a battery. Okay, and the other side of this coil B coil is connected to a voltmeter. B coil is connected to a voltmeter. So now we can switch on the now we will close the switch. So then what happens? The current will be flows through this coil. So whenever there is a current will be flows through this coil, so it will be induces the magnetic flux. It will produces the magnetic flux. So this magnetic flux will be allowed. This magnetic flux will be cuts this magnetic coil. See here. So by the allowing of the current through this coil, okay. So and that coil, that coil will produce as the magnetic field. So in the B coil will be we will connect as such that this magnetic field will be cuts this coil. The magnetic field will be cuts this coil, and due to that the EMF will be induced in the coil B. So we are allowing the coil B, the induced EMF, the induced flux in the coil A should cuts this coil, and due to that the EMF will be induced in coil B. Okay. Similarly, in the next case, what we will do? So in the coil B, we will connect the battery and switch. Okay. In the coil A, we will connect the voltage. So in the coil B, we will apply the see here, this is the second case. So in the coil B, we will connect the switch, battery and resistance. Okay. So with this coil B, we will allow the current to flow through this coil, and due to that, the flux generated in this coil will cuts this coil A. So we are providing that the generated flux from the coil B will cuts the coil of the A, and due to that the EMF will be generated in the coil A. So that will be measured by using the voltmeter. So the flux generated in one coil will make generation of the voltage generation in the second coil. So due to the from the flux produced in first coil will makes the generation of the EMF in the second coil. So this is called as mutually induced EMF. This is called as mutually induced EMF. So due to one coil, the EMF will produces in the other EMF will be produces in another coil. So this is the same as in the transformer. This is the same as the transformer. So in the transformer we have primary winding, secondary winding. So we will apply the voltage at the primary winding only, but in the secondary we will get the output voltage. So that is because in the primary winding we will apply the voltage, and due to that the flux will be generated in the primary winding. That flux will cuts the secondary winding. Okay, and due to that the EMF will be generated in the secondary winding. Okay, so the transformer will works on the mutual inductance principle. Mutual inductance principle. The mutual inductance will produces in the transformer. So the EMF will produces due to one coil. The EMF produces in one coil due to another coil is considered the mutual inductance. So self-induced EMF is nothing but the EMF will be produces itself in the coil. It will be considered self-induced EMF. The EMF will be generated itself in the coil, because due to that flux it will be generates the EMF in the same coil. So that we will also see in the next. So this is what I was explained. As current through A is changed, the flux linked with B is also changes. So in this figure, so when the current will be changes in the A, the flux will be also changes due to the change of the current. When current through A is established by closing the switch, its magnetic field is set up, which partly links with or through the coil B. Okay, the flux will be links with the coil B. As current through A is changed, the flux linked with B is also changes. Hence, mutually induced EMF is produced in B, whose magnitude is given by Faraday's laws of or direction of Lenz's law. So this is the reverse. Now, in the current will be produced, current will be sent through coil B, and the EMF field produces in the coil A. So such an EMF induced in one coil by the influence of the other coil is called mutual induced EMF. The EMF will be produced in another coil due to the other coils. Okay. So EMF induced in one coil by the influence of the other coil is called as mutual induced EMF. The self-induced EMF. So this is the coil. Okay, through this coil we are sending a current I. We are sending the current I. Okay, and due to this current I, it will produce some flux linkages. So the generated flux linkages again will produce see here, this generated flux okay, may able to cut again this coil. First of all, we are sending the current, and due to that the flux will be generates. The flux will be generates. Here the flux, generated flux will be again cuts this coil, and due to that the EMF will be generates in the same coil. Okay, so due to that the applied energy, what we are applied energy for generation of this flux will be opposes the generated EMF in this coil. Okay, so this is the EMF induced in a coil. Self-induced EMF is due to the change of its own flux. The generated flux which is generated in this coil due to the applied current I. So the same flux will be again cuts this same coil, and due to that EMF will be generated. So we are applied some external voltage here. So here we are connected some external voltage for generation of this flux. Okay, some E. Okay, so again the generated flux also makes some generation of EMF voltage in the coil, and due to that the applied and the total voltage E is equals to E, the applied voltage E minus the voltage or EMF will be generated due to the own flux. So that may be considered as ES, self-induced EMF. So due to that the applied current will be changes. Okay, the net voltage will be E minus ES. That this is possible because of the self-induced EMF of the coil. So some of the own flux will be also produces the voltage in this coil. So this is the self-induced EMF. Own flux linked with it. If current through the coil is changed, then the flux linked with its own turns will also change, which will produces in it what is called self-induced EMF. The flux linked with its own turns will also change, which will produce in it what is called self-induced EMF. So what you are saying that by applying voltage it produces the flux, okay, magnetic field, and the same magnetic field will be also cuts this coil, and due to that the EMF will be produces. So that induced EMF will be called as self-induced EMF. Self-induced EMF. So the direction of this induced EMF would be such as to oppose of any change of flux, the very cause of its production. So the applied voltage is opposite to the generation of the voltage which is applied. It is opposite to that one. that's why the net voltage is equals to applied voltage minus the generated induced EMF. The net voltage is equals to applied voltage minus the induced EMF. So it is also known as the opposing or counter EMF of self-induction. So this self-induced EMF is also called as opposing or counter EMF of the self-induction. So because it will opposes the actual applied voltage. Okay. So the next one is self-inductance. So previously we have seen that mutually induced EMF and self-induced EMF. Okay. So the next one is self-inductance. Okay. So for the same figure, so if you suppose imagine a coil of wire similar to the one shown connected to a battery through a resistor, it is found that whenever an effort is made to increase current, flux to opposite. So self-induced EMF will be generated by this circuit. Okay. So energy required to overcome this opposition is supplied by the battery. So due to the self-inductance, self-induced EMF, so the battery will also produce some higher energy required to maintain that constant value of the generation of the flux. This energy is stored in the additional flux produced. So if now an effort is made to decrease the current, okay, then again it is delayed due to the production of the self-induced EMF. This time in opposite direction. So this property of the coil due to which the oppose any increase or decrease of the current of flux through it is known as the self-inductance. So whenever we will apply the, so suppose we are connected some voltage here, so we are producing some self-induced EMF. Okay, so due to this applied generated self-induced EMF, it will also produces some current. So that current is opposite to the applied current. The generated current is opposite to the applied current. Okay, and due to that there is a variation in the generated flux. Suppose we have to maintain the generated flux is constant. The generated flux is constant. So we have to apply more amount of the current, or we have to provide more energy. Okay, due to that it should maintain the constant flux which is generated from this flux. So it is okay. So for that the property, the this coil property, so which is having that ability to increasing or decreasing of the current. Okay, so that will be considered as the self inductance. Means, so the inductor, this is the inductor, we can consider this inductor. So its property is to store the variation of the current. So it will be able to change its current. Okay, rate of change of the current. This property of the coil due to the which the opposes any increase or decrease of current or flux through it. So it is also like our resistance property. So this property of the coil, that is the self inductance, is nothing but, so it is having opposes any increase or decrease of the current, and due to that variation of the current the flux will be changes. Okay, so that will be considered as self inductance. So it is also opposing nature for the variation of the current, change of the current. So the quantitatively measured in terms of the coefficient of self inductance. So how we can measure this inductance value is, based upon the coefficient of self-induction, that is L. So it may be defined in three ways. So the first method is, so it is Weber turns per ampere in the coil. So we can represent the self-inductance, coefficient of self-inductance in the three ways. In the first method, the Weber turns per ampere in the coil. Weber turns is the flux linkage of the coil. So that is represented as, consider a coil. It has N turns and carrying a current of I amperes. If the flux produced is 5 Webers, then Weber turns are N pi. Weber turns is nothing but the flux linkages, that is product of the number of turns and the produced flux. Okay, and Weber turns per ampere are N pi by I. So L is equals to N pi by I. Okay, so that is I. So the unit of the self inductance is Henrys. So generally we can measure the inductance in terms of the Henrys. Henry H. So these are different forms of the inductance. So here self-inductance, self-induced EMF. Self-induced EMF EL is equals to minus L into di by dt. Because the negative sign is corresponds to, it is opposite to the applied voltage. It is generated in opposite to the applied voltage. So sometimes in generators we can call this type of the voltage is called as the back EMF. Back EMF in generators. Okay. So and the energy stored in an inductor is equals to half of the Li square. 1 by 2 into L is the inductor and I is the current, I square, half of Li square. So okay, we will continue in the next class. So we will discuss about the mutual inductance in the next class. So is there